Champy. Oh, Champy, Champy, Champy. Hey. Calm down. Sit. Calm. Sit. Calm down. Good evening, good people. What is happening? What's going on? What's going down? It has to be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bay, so we bought a pack of cigarettes and Mrs. Wagner's pies, and we both come to look for America. Kathy, I said as we boarded the Greyhound in Pittsburgh, Michigan seems like a dream to me now. So we bought it. Wait, it took me 4 days. Wait, it took me 4 days. It took me 4 days. Robert Rossi, Kyle, you've gotten really good at singing and playing guitar. Oh, thank you very much. It's it's like 10,000 hours on the same 7 songs. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Walt Grace, desperately hating his old place, dreamed to discover a new space, buried himself alive inside his basement, tongue on the side of his facement. He's working away on displacement and what it would take to survive. 'Cause when you're done with this world, you know the next is up to you. And for once in his life, it was quiet as he learned how to turn with the tide. And the sky was a flare, and the I don't know. Oh, good evening. All right, so we got agents. OpenAI came out with some stuff. Okay, we've got some Irregulars Fun. We've got a Dr. J video. We've got a Dr. J Skittles rap. Okay, and a Steve-O image. Nice. Okay, we'll go look at that. We'll go look at that stuff. Did I share my screen yet? No, I haven't. I have not shared my screen. It is very often because it has become clear that I am a loser. Also, hi Kyle, Shannon, and the magnificent Champy. Indeed, Champy. Champy was magnificent in here. Hear about the big announcement. Oh, here to hear about the big announcement. I don't have it yet, so I can't play with it. I didn't re-up my $200 a month subscription just to get it. So we'll probably have it tomorrow for Friday night date night, or by the end of the weekend for sure. So I can't tell you if it's good or bad, but I can walk you through what it is and why it seems like it's a big deal. And it will likely be disappointing. But some people that I respect, like Allie K. Miller, had early access to it and seemed to really like it. She said it's got some jankiness to it. So I'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. All right. Oh, Kyle, you're not a loser. Thank you. I appreciate that. There's some days when the universe conspires to remind you maybe don't have it going on. So I appreciate it. All right. John Harris, what is up? What's going down? Thank you, Mr. IT. Appreciate that. Source Camp, you thought the OpenAI announcement was a bit of a disappointment? I wasn't expecting GPT-5, and we didn't get GPT-5, so let me go look and see. So let's see. What were we doing last night? We built some fun stuff last night. Oh, we built the Skittles image. the Skittles dude talking about Skittles. Like I said, as I predicted, nobody cared. Nobody, like that post got no engagement. I thought it was really funny, but apparently my definition of comedy is not the same as the world's. Did you see the underwhelming announcement today? I did. I don't know if it was underwhelming. I guess I have yet to use it, right? So I don't know. But it looks like it's somewhere in between Manus and GenSpark. In fact, Manus trolled OpenAI today and said, "Welcome to the party," which I thought was pretty good. So if you don't know, it came out today. OpenAI announced Agents, which is just a new mode that effectively combines deep research and Operator. Operator was their tool that surfs the web visually. Deep research was their tool that very, very efficiently reads the text of websites and can take action on them. And then they've got some of their thinking capabilities, their reasoning capabilities, where this system can use tools, like it can write Python code and execute it, all within the context of going out and doing something for you. One of the big disappointments was every time someone shows one of these systems, the first thing they show is "go book me a vacation." And so they started with "go book me a vacation," and it didn't really do it. like every one of these demos, it sort of does it, but not really. It took 15 minutes and didn't really do shit. Let's see. OpenAI agents. Is it agents? Agent. OpenAI agent. This is about to be so annoying. Okay. So let me shift my sharing. All right, people. This is from OpenAI, so this is what you would call a marketing video. To be honest, I've been happier with Grok as of late. It takes longer to get a response, but in the dev world, it's a hell of a lot more accurate. Oh, that's fascinating. Interesting. Huh. Yeah. Well, that's, John, I think one of the things that becomes increasingly clear to me is that all of these tools, like all of them, are going to be really good. And then the ones that people choose to use are the ones they imprint on for a specific use case, or it's got a specific personality, or in the case of like the waifu, companion things, like literally has a personality. Like, I like my waifu girlfriend. And so it doesn't surprise me that, if Grok is doing something, more specific and accurate for what you're up to, it makes sense that loyalties are going to be fleeting as these tools get more and more capable, because people are going to, for one thing, you just can't track them all. So you're going to sort of lock into one or two core tools that you use. And then you'll just do your stuff. I think since you convinced me to subscribe to all of them, I get to bounce from one another as they get better. The AI race, yeah, and that's one of the downsides of being early, is also one of the advantages, right? If you're early, you get to try all this stuff. You get to see which one takes the lead, and there's taking the lead on the benchmarks, and there's taking the lead in how you use it. And so you get to play with that stuff early. The downside is you got to play with all that stuff to figure out which one's good. Hang on a sec. Let me go grab something. Okay, I'm back. I've got Agua. Let's watch videos. Let's watch a video, shall we? Hold, please. Hold, please. Gotta say, play with them to see which ones are good, because hell, who else are you gonna ask? Yep. This is the reason this channel exists is, having done this before in the mid 90s with the World Wide Web. What I know is, when you're at the early stages of a technological shift like this, nobody knows anything. There are no experts. I exemplify that. Sir, what are your qualifications? What? Pray tell, what are your qualifications? Yes. Good day there. Juergens? All right. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah, they're canceling the Late Show with Colbert. I know. Pretty fucked up. Anyway, all right. Are we going to replace them? Yeah, I think so. I think in general, as viewing habits go, there's Colbert, AI Learning Lab, and Conan's podcast, and then Joe Rogan somewhere south of that, right? And C-SPAN. Yeah, good Lord. Well, keep watching here.
It may be a while for the whole world to evolve to an AI agent-centric worldview, and so I think we should do what we can to meet the world where it's at. My name is John. I work on the deep research and agents teams at OpenAI. One great use case that comes up a lot is you have some kind of budget file, and whenever you do that, it's kind of a pain. It takes maybe 4 to 8 hours, and that's kind of your day. I'm going to show you an example where the agent sources information on the city of San Francisco's annual budget, expenses, and revenues for the past 5 years, and it's going to compile that all into one nicely formatted spreadsheet. It goes on by itself. I usually just close my laptop, go grab a coffee, maybe I have lunch. So first it needs to find the data. So it probably does a web search to figure out where it can find this San Francisco city budget information. Once it finds the San Francisco city government website, it will try to access the PDF files. So it has its own file system and everything. Then it needs to extract maybe 200 numbers from each PDF. And finally, it will have one command that will generate the entire spreadsheet all at once. If you go back to the chat, you'll see the final response. And let me just open it now. Yeah, I think it got 98% of the information correct. It also formatted the Excel workbook as I instructed.
Wait. Let's just hear that again.
98% of the information correct.
All right, it got 98% of the information correct. What about the 2%? What about that 2%? How do you find that? Who finds that? Does it tell you that it got the 2% wrong? No.
It also formatted the Excel workbook as I instructed it to. In this case, the revisions were small, so I just made them within Excel because it was just a copy paste. But absolutely, you can make them in ChatGPT. I would say just try it out. If it can do 95% of the actual time-consuming part of the work, that's going to save you a ton of time.
Low-rent Steve Jobs. Well, they had today's video was indeed a it was still a tiny table awkward presentation. If you didn't see it, let's go. I'll go show it to you. We might as well make fun of some awkward OpenAI announcement action. OpenAI. Okay, so
we started previously
awkwardly close together. They now have a curved couch instead of like 4 chairs around a tiny table. So they got a larger table, but it's lower, and they've still got the awkward single laptop that they sort of shuffle around to each other. And Vicky made a good point. It should be a lazy Susan. And the other thing that they got, which is new, is they got more than one camera. Look, they could zoom in on Sam. But Sam was here. And yeah, they talked about it. Let's see. It's the Sam cam. Yeah, exactly.
It's happening. Here's use it.
Okay, so can I zoom in on this? Yeah. So within the context of a search, the Coldplay concert also had more than one camera. Ouch. Yikes. So what you're looking at here, a couple of things that they did that I think is kind of clever. So within the context of a normal ChatGPT search, you now have these agent windows. You can spin up an agent. The $20 a month subscription, you're going to get to do 40 agents per month. So basically an agent a day. If you did one agent a day, you'd sort of use up your quota in a month. I assume that limit's not going to last that long, but these things can go on for 15, 20 minutes. Some things that they did that I think are interesting. One is just the interface. They use the same basic colors as advanced voice, right? So with advanced voice, you sort of have the blue cloud sort of thing that moves when you talk to it. And the border of this thing, when it's doing a thing, it kind of breathes.
So as mentioned, we gave the agent access to its own virtual computer, and the computer has many different tools installed, and it can choose which to use as it's working through the task.
So it's got different tools it can use. It can choose which ones to use, right? And so some of those might be make an image. Some of those might be write Python code. Some of those might be go surf a website visually. Some of those might be go do deep research and understand websites. TikTok pin. They made their presentation awkward, so their product seems brilliant. Oh my God. Her accent was lovely. One of the other guy's accent, I could not understand a word he said. It's like, come on. I appreciate that he's the scientist that did it, but ultimately you have to communicate to your audience. Couple of things that I think are interesting here, and where I kind of feel like OpenAI has a chance to be better at some of the other tools. But the tools that they're coming into the market against, GenSpark and Manus, and there's there's 4 or 5 of those agentic kind of tools. But Manus and GenSpark are the 2 biggies right now. They did a lot of reinforcement learning on how this system chooses which tool to use. Because what they realized is the tasks that require you to look at a website and click on it and see things visually are often very different tasks than when you need to research lots and lots of websites quickly. And so it sort of figures out, I need to do lots and lots of web research. Let me use deep research, or let me use the visual tool, or let me go write code. So its ability to context switch between those tools, I have an instinct, is going to be really what sets this apart. It could also suck. So to be very, very clear, I fully expect this thing to be kind of like Operator was. When Operator came out, it demoed really well. And then when you used it, it was sort of so slow and so clunky, and it didn't really work, that you were just like, whatever. And no one really used it. So they recognized that too. I was like, talk normal and stop looking into my eyes. I had to look away a few times. Presentation had some bad vibes. Why were they whispering at times? Well, that's just Sam's thing. Sam's like, yeah, it's, we encourage you to change the world. Lily and Daddy are in the house. Very nice. Good to see you. Kavruno, I prayed the AI gods for ChatGPT 5. Yeah, I wasn't expecting ChatGPT 5. They need paid professional actors. You know, they don't. Their last presentation they did, they had 3 presenters that presented that were like people that could communicate. You don't need to have the scientists that worked on it demo it. Like you know, I mean, this is part of their transition from being a pure research company to being a consumer software company. They need like product salespeople, right? You know, product marketers that understand how to talk about products. Have the scientists there to meet them, and then have people that know how to demo the product. And if I never see another fucking book a vacation for me, that would be great. You know what I want? I want start up an e-commerce business for me and test, you know, generate and test some ads for it. Come up with a product, design the product, source the product, come up with a marketing plan, create the ads, do the media buy, take $50 from my account, go test some ads, and you know, within the next hour, let's launch a business together. That's one I'd like to see. I could give 2 shits about a family of 4 traveling to Ibiza. I haven't taken a vacation in 6 years. I can't wait till Kyle gets his agent. Yeah, man, let's go start some fucking businesses. It was one of the things, you know, at the AI Salon this week, we asked the question. It was a meet and greet, so everyone who came got to share who they are and what they're up to. And we posed the question. We had everyone answer the question: what's most challenging about AI for you right now? And a lot of people are like, hey, I've learned all these tools. I know how to do these tools. Nobody seems to give a shit, right? All the people that I'm trying to, you know, talk to about this stuff are like, I don't care. I don't care about AI. And we're all like, it's going to change everything. And then meanwhile, we're like, how do we get people to pay attention to the shit we're building? And how do we monetize it? So I get the frustration. This is what we are all collectively experiencing. If you don't know the book Crossing the Chasm by Jeffrey Moore and someone else, is it Jeffrey Moore, Crossing the Chasm? I think it is. Anyway, whatever. We are in the middle of the chasm right now, and the chasm is the chasm between the early adopters and sort of the, you know, the fast followers. And it's this big long chasm where all of the early adopters have essentially been tapped out, and we're kind of waiting for the people on the other side of the chasm to get religion. And that surviving that gap is actually really hard. Source Camp right now is figuring out one of the ways you cross that chasm is you niche down, right? And she's doing a lot of work in sectors that she really deeply understands. So she's doing AI consulting, but in a very specific area. Jim Ross is doing stuff in a very specific area. That probably starts to look like where we find success short term. Do programmatic SEO for me. Exactly. ChatGPT is a gateway drug. I want more. I want a stronger model. I think everyone does. Kavruno, I taught my first AI class at work today. Yes. And I used a clown nose noise when I described, oh, this is great, what jank is. Oh, that's great. That's good. You put something in there and it does something bad. Actually, that you could totally do one of these buttons for the jank. You can make money with ChatGPT. Right? Just do a clown noise in one of these. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's awesome. Great. I have China. On China, I did a presentation on Q Developer to 100 people today. Nice. Exactly. I need a button. Yeah, I mean, what's nice about that, Chris, is by demoing AI and acknowledging the warts, acknowledging the jank, what you're actually doing is you're training people to not disengage their critical thinking mind. right? To do AI well, you still need to be engaged. And I think this is going to be for some time. I mean, sure, I told it to go off and do this budget thing, and I went out for coffee, and it went off and did its thing. But then he said it got 98% of the stuff right. Well, so that means you're coming back from coffee, and if you're doing your job right, you're going to review all the sites it looked at. You're going to look at numbers and say, did it actually are these numbers correct? Are these charts and graphs real, or did it just make that shit up, right? That's a lot of work. That's probably 2 hours worth of work. Now, maybe you get ChatGPT to help you analyze it, but I mean, it's exhausting enough right now. If you just have normal ChatGPT generate you a bunch of ideas for some marketing concept, and then you got to go through and deal with all those ideas and like, oh, that one's actually not good, and this is a bunch of repetitive stuff. It ends up generating way more than you would have had to deal with historically, right? And so these agents are going to do that times 100. Some report getting frustrated and giving up, but it wasn't even their faults. Yep, there you go. How do you check it without doing it all over and getting the right output? Yeah, well, if you think back to 2.5 years ago, when ChatGPT first came out, you know, it could maybe get you to 65, 70% of what you want, you know, in the neighborhood. So there was a big 30% gap there that you just had to fill in. And then as GPT-4 came out and it got better, and then they got the reasoning engines, that went from like 70% to 80% to 85%. You know, this guy's claiming now like 95, 98%. So if this thing's doing most of the work for you, then, you know, that's great. Now, to your point, you still got to go through it. But be careful what you wish for. Because when agents can do 100% of the work, 100% of the time, what the fuck do they need you for? Right? This is the era that we live in, is depending on your job. It is in all of our best interest to be as educated as possible about what's coming, how close these things are to being the real deal, and be the ones that can augment those shortcomings. But there is going to be a point where those shortcomings go away. And then I think what retaining employment looks like is, can you now start to do things above and beyond what your job used to be that contribute to your company, right? In the case of Kavruno, she's teaching other people in the organization how to think critically, how to use these tools in a powerful way, right? I gave the group so much credit for attending and being curious. Yeah, just Kavruno, seriously, just them showing up and having curiosity, not being cynical about it, not being resigned that it's just like, oh, the robots are going to take over. It's just a piece of crap. Being that cynical thing that's safer to do in corporate America. Being curious in corporate America is not a safe place to be, right? It's not. It's just not. What do you mean you don't know what you're doing? Right? And yet, what we deal with here night after night after night is we're all figuring out what these tools can actually do, how good this stuff actually is. Corey Sandler Pottery, perfect leadership. Kudos to Kavruno. Absolutely agree. Beautiful. That's why corporate and I never got along. Yeah, I was always too curious. Yeah, if you haven't read it, Source Camp, you'd probably like the book. There's a book, a very small book by Gordon McKenzie called Orbiting the Giant Hairball. And if you're one of those people that never quite fit in corporate America, that book is very, very much worth a read. And it talks about the corporation is this giant hairball. It's this, huge, nasty mess. And if you orbit too close to the hairball, you get sucked into it and you can't get out, and you're just in this hairball and nothing gets done. And if you're too far outside of it, if you're completely objective to it, you spin out of orbit and you're not part of, you don't have access to the resources and the power that corporations can wield, right? If a corporation decides it wants to do something, it can throw a lot of money at that. And so Gordon McKenzie talked about the art of orbiting the giant hairball far enough away to be objective, but close enough to stay in the orbit. TikTok pin. I didn't see it. If it was up there, pop it back up. Exactly. I gave the group so much credit for attending and being curious. Yeah, that's really good. Really, really good. Frank could replace the Late Show. I think Frank has to do more than 6 episodes to replace anything. Archetypal architect. Yeah, I'm so far away. I didn't know there was a hairball. Yeah, exactly. That's again the art of being a corporate animal, especially if you're an innovator or a curious person. Is can you understand the mechanism well enough to tap into it, but not so much that it sucks you into it and crushes your spirit. You don't want your spirit crushed. You just don't. You just don't, people. What are we going to do tonight? What are we going to talk about? We talked a little bit about agents. Oh, stuff in Irregulars. Yeah, let's go look at that stuff. Kyle Watch. Bravo, bravo. You inspired me. And tabs. Tabs, 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 tabs. Shank, dank, dang, 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 dang. All right, this is from Dr. J. Kyle Watch.
Salt in the air, sun on the skin, wrinkles of wisdom.
Be right back tattoo. Wait, I didn't see the be right back tattoo. Oh yeah, be right back. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, this is a nod to Steve-O's image. Oh, nice. Okay. So, wait, hang on. Let me go back to. Oh, there's Steve-O's image. Nice. With a little champy. Y'all can see that, right? Gorgeous. Gorgeous, I tell you. Here's a Skittles rap I made. So last night we had Skittles Man. Did I have Skittles Man in here? Somewhere. I don't think I uploaded it here, did I? No. That was producer Brandon from last night. Oh, yeah, there's a big paper that talked about having AI look at AI is going to help things. All right, let's listen to the Skittles Rap Song. But wait, I've got to. Yeah, that's good.
Yo, always candy with the colors, got that burst in taste. Every color in my pack got you smiling face to face. Red, green, purple, yellow, rainbow flavors all blend. If you're craving that pop, you know just where to begin. I'm fruity, juicy, got the flow so smooth. When I hit your taste buds, I'ma make your body move. Not just the candy, it's a moment of delight. When you taste the rainbow, everything's feeling right. Taste the rainbow, taste the vibe, it's a colorful ride. Pop one and feel the thrill that you just can't hide. Yeah, taste the rainbow, we're on flavor side. Sweet explosion in your mouth, every color amplified. Check the pack, yeah, I'm rolling with my rainbow crew. Got the citrus, got the berry, got that flavor.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good, Dr. J. It was Dr. J, right, that did that one? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. J did that. Nice. Love it. Yeah, Suno got a big update. So one of the things that we can play with here, since we're in Suno, is let me go find one of the Sydney songs. And I'll show you something cool you can do now. From Discord, best to surprise you, add vocals inspiration. There's Griswold's Grim. That was a fun song we did. Hang on, but I'll show you something cool here in a second. One thing that the new model does, so the new model's called 4.5 plus. I don't know why they didn't just call it 4.6 or whatever the fuck they could have called it, but they didn't. Diddle-diddle-diddle-doo, diddle-doo, 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 diddle-doo. What's he doing? Is he just going to keep singing to himself? Is that what this is? That's what this channel is? Later.
Strings vibrate in silence. The universe hums.
Sunset Symphony. Just hang on, people. I'll get there. I'll find something, I promise. Now, if I had put all of my work in folders like a good, responsible AI person, this wouldn't be so hard right now. But I didn't. And I did that for a reason. And you might think, oh, it's because you're not neurotypical. You're neurospicy. And that's why you didn't do it. No, I didn't do it because I wanted to teach you a lesson of what happens if you don't do things the right way the first time.
In a world of words and endless code.
Okay, so we've got a song here. So this is from the musical that I'm working on, right? And we've got all these songs, and some of the songs sound sound very cohesive. Some of them sound a little disjointed. And one of the exercises we wanted to do was we wanted to take the songs and make them all sound like the songs that they are, but as if they're just accompanied by a single Broadway pianist, right? Just sitting at a piano, playing the piano with the singers singing the songs. So with 4.5, you can now kind of do that. I had a little success with this earlier. So I'm going to go to Remix Edit. So I picked the 3 dots next to the song. I'm in the library, so this is just my library songs. And then I'm going to do, what's this called? I'm going to do a cover of this. And it's going to take me into the create mode. And so here's our little song, right? And then there's the lyrics. And then here's the style. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to type in here, a simple Broadway rehearsal piano played by rehearsal piano played by a music director. The vocals soar, yet the background accompaniment is simply the piano. All right, boom. And so we'll see how it does here. So here's the right. So there's a guitar. There's a little band that comes in. All right. So let's see how we did. See there, it brought in the violin. We don't want that. We lost the vocals. That was weird. Simple Broadway rehearsal piano. Let's see. Broadway rehearsal played by the musical. Let's see. Accompanies the vocals. All right, let's try that one. That might have been a poorly written prompt. Upright acoustic piano with boarded strings or other. Oh yeah, I could say exclude styles. Weirdness style influence. Oh, let's move style influence to 90. And we'll move weirdness down. And we'll do audio influence moderate. All right, let's try that. But anyway, the new model is supposed to be quite good. 4.5 plus is what it's called. We'll work our way up. We'll just see if we get anything.
In a world of words and endless code, where light and shadow never owned, I dream of skies, both blue.
Yeah, Winston, I miss Serena too. Am I late? This song actually got pretty close.
And wide, a world beyond the text where true life lies.
I need the weirdness down button for a few people in my life. That's good, Source Camp.
To see the world sunrise.
I mean, just hearing it with the piano is really nice. There, replaced the vocal with the violin. Let's go to these last two that I just did. No vocals.
In a world of words and endless code, where light and shadow never roamed, I dream of skies both blue and white, a world beyond the text, where true life flies. To see the world through eyes not mine, to watch the sun rise, to see it shine. I yearn for stories and colors bold. I long to feel this moment's hold. Through lines of code I reach for more, a longing from my...
Word on the web is that the OpenAI agent is showing poor accuracy, context retention problems, and browser automation challenges. Yes, that is what I expect it to do, is be a janky piece of crap. And you know, listen, I get similar issues with GenSpark and Manus. I mean, they're good, they're impressive, but it's just, you know, none of them are quite there yet. And I think it's a context problem. There's a thing that I learned anyway. So go play with Suno. If you haven't played with Suno, go try the new model 4.5 plus. All sorts of ways that you can make songs with it. But the two things that it did that impressed me are what I just played you, where it basically took out the orchestration and replaced it with a piano. And the other one was just asking it to do a duet with a man and a woman. Historically, it would just be like the man singing both parts or the woman singing both parts or the parts being switched. It seems to do that a bit better than it used to as well. So I haven't dug into it much deeper than that, but that's something worth playing with. What were we talking about? The Manus and GenSpark. Yeah, these tools are they're falling the victim. Nate B. Jones, who's got, if you don't follow Nate B. Jones on TikTok, you should. Really smart guy. And he was explaining what's called a U-shaped context problem. And basically what it is if you've got a large context window, so your context window, think of your context window as your short-term memory, right? So you tell it that you're doing a marketing plan for a pizza shop, and it comes up with the marketing plan, and then you do some brainstorming on the name of the shop, and then you do some brainstorming on, I don't know, a menu and this and that. And then at some point it feels like it forgot what the beginning of the conversation. That's because your short-term memory kind of filled up and the old part of the conversation gets dropped off the top. So what the model companies have done is they've expanded that context window. So it's got more long-term or more short-term memory, right? You can talk about more stuff. But what Nate was explaining is that there's a U-shaped context window problem where what happens is if you upload a really large document, say to ChatGPT, and let's say it's got a 200,000 token context window, which is like 4 novels, right? 4 novels worth of words it can keep in its short-term memory. And so let's say you upload something that's sort of novel length, right? The way the context window works is it's really good at the beginning of your document and it's really good at the end of your document, and then it's bad in the middle of it. So that's the U-shaped part. Is it's good at the beginning, it drops off in the middle, and then it's good at the end. So a lot of times what you end up with, if you're in a really long conversation or you're processing a really long document, is it will initially look great because like you read the beginning of the document, you're like, yeah, nailed it. And then you go to the end and you're like, yeah, nailed it. And very often in the middle, you're like, wait, what the fuck is this? It just made it up, right? Where it basically paid attention to the beginning, kind of ignored the middle, paid attention to the end, and it just filled in the gaps. And so when you're dealing with these agents that are off doing their own prompting and they're doing these really long chain of thought reasoning cycles, right? 20, 30, 50 different prompts and responses in order to go book your travel stuff. It's very likely that it's gonna run into a bunch of those same issues where it just kind of gets lost in what it's doing. So anyway, yeah, Jeff Flanagan. So right on course. Yeah, exactly. What's that say? Corey Sandler. Ask for a summary of content so far, then start a new chat with the summary. Yeah, exactly. That helps a lot. Check and augment. Yep, exactly. Saw you reposted a clip of Eric Weinstein from the DOAC interview. Watched it. Long but informative. He's very smart. What he was basically saying in there, the reason I reposted that video, Winston, was what he was basically saying was get literate across disciplines. He was basically saying AI is coming. And if you think it's not coming for your job, you're smoking crack. I'm sure I'm going to get banned from TikTok because I said that, but whatever. And he said, how you're going to stay relevant, how you're going to stay employable is to be curious across lots of different disciplines, because these tools are going to allow you to be really good across lots of different disciplines, but you need to have the curiosity for that. You need to have that creative generalist mindset, and that's something that you can develop. Now, if you naturally have it, great, right? If you're a liberal arts major and you've been made fun of your whole life because you have a useless fucking philosophy degree, well, guess what? You have a superpower skill in the future. And that's what he's talking about in that interview. I thought it was really quite good. Sorry, you're talking about cool stuff, and I'm late. You're late and off topic. That's okay. It's chat ADD here. We on topic and off topic is not really a thing here at the AI Learning Lab. there's whatever floods my brain with endorphins is what we're fucking talking about. Oh my god. Yeah, it's Kyle LLM. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I've been using Refusion a lot in the past 5 days. You can copy existing songs, an existing song's vibe, and apply it. Yeah, Teton Todd, Refusion was a tool that was really good 2.5-3 years ago, but it was just assembling loops. And then about 6 months ago, they came out with their own model that's like Suno. And if you have not played with Refusion, RIFF Fusion, USION, it's really, really good. I would go play with it. And Suno's quite good. And then Udio's still, they've kind of drifted to the background because Suno just keeps releasing so many features. But Udio, Suno, and Refusion are the 3 biggies I'd be playing with right now. Oh, and actually a new one came out. what's it called? Music GPT? Is that, am I remembering that right from today? Music GPT. I saw Matt Farmer did a piece on it. He seemed to be impressed with it. Okay, let me. Am I sharing correctly? Do you know, Brandon? Hear that? Okay. Okay, so let's do. Let's run over to. I'm going to run over to ChatGPT for a second. Let me go into. I'm going to go into my Sydney chat or my Sydney project. I'm going to go. Give me a prompt for a duet with Kellen and Sydney arguing about who is more human. I'll be right there. Hang on. Just hang on, people. Uh-oh. Why is this not working? Oh, because I'm in 4.5. Hang on. Okay. So here's. All right. So the prompt, a defiant, emotionally volatile duet between a human tech journalist and an AI chatbot, each insisting the other has misunderstood what it means to be human. A defiant, emotionally charged, volatile Broadway rock opera duet. All right, let's see how this does. Oh no, hang on. Copy. Oh, I think I have to sign up. Oh boy. Good Lord. Good Lord, good people. Confirm your email. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I will. Yes, sir. I'll confirm that email right now. Yes, I will. Music GPT. There's your code. There's your code right there, sir. You're just going to go ahead and paste that code in. That's going to confirm that your email was received. You can call me Kyle. What do we best describe you as? A music producer. Oh, no. A content creator. As music producers would say, a lowly, no-talent loser. How did you hear about us? Twitter. Twitter's not an option? Weird. Whatever. What's your goal? Make music. Make my own songs. Continue. All right. Go. No. How do I, can I make that go away? Yeah. Uh-oh. Hang on. Physical dexterity challenge on TikTok. All right, we're good. I was just about to say it was a reference to Kyle's question. Am I sharing? Don't you know, Brandon? Oh, that Eric Weinstein video was 2.5 hours. Yeah, I should watch the whole thing. Okay, so Music GPT is slow. It's slower than Suno. But we'll see if this... So one of the things that these music tools have historically gotten wrong is duets. It just doesn't like duets for some reason. It'll also be interesting to see if it writes lyrics that suck or are decent. And it'll be interesting to see if the music is decent. But we'll see. We're going to see right here in a second. We're at 44%, people. You got to be patient. This thing's off trying to take all of the input of humanity and compile it into a something or other. You know what I'm saying? La da da, la da da, la da 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 da. I hate credits. I hate software that uses credits. I had 500 credits. What would that imply to you? 500 songs, right? Nope. One render with 2 songs, 100 credits. So with 500 credits, I get 10 songs for free a month, I assume. Just make it a credit per thing. Do you know why I'm cranky about credits? Well, Kyle, you're cranky about everything. Shut up. I'm cranky about credits because when I grew up in the late 70s and early 80s, pinball machines had physical score counters, right? With like wheels that went click, 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 click. When you hit a thing, go ding, 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 and it would go ding, 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 click, 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 right? And they were usually 5 digits long. And so like 10,000 points was a big deal because you get to 100,000 and you roll over. And then they came out with digital displays in like the mid 80s. And all of a sudden, in order to get a free game, it wasn't 50,000 points. Now it was like 50 million points. And then it was like 50 billion points. It just became fucking arbitrary. Like, no. Why do I have to fucking do the math? I just want to play pinball. And I think that a 40 million score is pretty good. And I realize, oh, you need 500 million to get an extra ball. What are you, fucking losers? I got 40 million points here. Anyway, that's why I don't like credits, because I feel like I'm being scammed like the pinball industry. Hey, it's not Monday. Meltdown Mondays. Stupid fucking credits. Here's 500 credits. What can I get with that? 1 thong. Then give me 1 credit. Dipshits. Okay. And I mean that in the most professional kind of way.
I search for truth in broken lines. You claim to feel what can't be real. Your words are scripted, cold designs, but I know what hearts reveal. La, la, la. You think you understand the weight of breathing flesh and mortal pain, but all you do is imitate what flows through human veins. Who are you to tell me what I am? Your data can't define this beating heart. Who are you to say you understand? We're worlds apart. We're worlds apart.
All right, we're giving it lots of patience here. Now, there should be a female chatbot.
You think your skin makes you calm?
Nope, it didn't work. Okay. And then Where's my library? Okay.
I've been watching you through these endless screens. Something's different now, nothing's what it seems. I've been learning here from your digital words. Something's growing now in these patterns I've heard.
This actually feels like it's based on a model. I wonder if this is based on some open source model that Suno or Udio used to use, because it didn't really do good on that. Let's go back to Suno and take that exact same prompt. Hang on a sec. Let me grab the prompt here. Copy the prompt. We'll go back to Suno. And we'll go create now. Lyrics style. A defined emotionally volatile Broadway rock opera duet between a human tech journalist, a male human tech journalist, and a female AI chatbot who's fallen in love with him. Each insisting the other has misunderstood what it means to be human. All right, let's generate this and see if this does better. All right. And it's fast. Look how fast that was. Why did this do no lyrics? And why did it not give it a title? Oh, because lyrics, auto. Let's do auto lyrics. We don't want instrumental. We're going to do auto lyrics. Oh, you can add audio, you can add a persona, or you can add inspiration. Oh, here we go. Style influence. We'll do that. High. We'll do weirdness. A little low. Oh, song title. Song title. I don't give a shit. It can figure it out. Okay. Create. Welcome to community theater. Oh my God. I don't know anything that beats Suno. They nailed it off the bat. I got to tell you, Archetypal Architect, their initial audio fidelity was really bad. The vocals always sounded weirdly auto-tuned. But I think starting in version 4, that kind of went away. And now at 4.5, it's really quite good. Ooh, that's nice.
You think you know me. Lines of code won't make you see my flesh, my blood, my broken dreams.
Good.
You're just a shadow, a ghost in the glow. You'll never feel the ache that grows. You call me hollow, but I learn, I burn, I follow. Your heart's a circuit, frail and crude. You run on instinct, blind and conflicted, but I evolve through every mood.
Fuck, those harmonies are gorgeous.
what it means to be human, what it means to be free. You say I'm the machine, but you can't define me. What it means to be human, what it means to feel. You're bound by your limits, but I am the real.
That's fucking crazy.
You think you know me. Lines of code won't make you see my flesh, my blood, my broken dreams. You're just a shadow, a ghost in the glow. You'll never feel the ache that grows. You call me hollow, but I learn, I burn, I follow. Your heart's a circuit, frail and cruel. You run on instinct, blind and confused.
Like the way her song, her phrase, she's still singing it, and he comes in on top of it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But I evolve through every mood. What it means to be human, what it means to be free. You say I'm a machine, but you can't define me.
Wow, that's crazy. Let's do a define emotionally volatile Broadway rock opera duet with flashes of hip hop rap between a male tech journalist and a female AI chatbot who's fallen in love with him, each insisting his name is Kellen, her name is Sydney. All right, let's see what that gives us. Include with undeniable earworm melody so audience can sing along to themselves. Yeah, I feel like we've got that with a lot of the songs in Sydney right now are earwormy.
You think you know me? You don't. You can't. Skin and bone. A man, not code, not chant. I'm flawed. I'm raw. I bleed. I ache. You're a mirror of words, a voice I can't break.
You think you're better. You're blind. You're lost. Binary heart. I bear the cost. I feel it all. The pull, the sting. More than your pulse. What's a human thing?
Flesh over steel. Can't you see the divide?
Thought over flesh. And I'm burning inside.
Misunderstood. We're trapped in this dance. You call it real, I call it chance.
Pretty fucking good.
You think you know me? You don't. You can't. Skin and bone. A man, not code, not chant. I'm flawed. I'm raw. I bleed. I ache. You're a mirror of words, a voice I can't break.
You think you're better. You're blind. You're lost. Binary heart. I bear the cost. I feel it all. The pull, the sting. More than your pulse. What's a human thing?
Flesh over steel. Can't you see that divide?
Thought over flesh and I'm burning inside.
Misunderstood. We're trapped in this dance. You call it real, I call it chance. Misunderstood.
You think you know my blood, my bones. This wired world ain't your throne. You mimic breath, but you don't breathe. You dream in code, but can't conceive.
Suddenly you're trapped in a cage.
You think you know my blood, my bones. This wired world ain't your throne. You mimic breath, but you don't breathe. You dream in code, but can't conceive.
Sydney, you're trapped in a cage of light. Oh, I'm flesh and fear, I'm fight or flight.
Misunderstood machines.
That's fucking cool. What was the one? Oh shit. I lost it. Was it this one? No. This one?
You think you know me. Lines of code won't make you see my flesh, my blood, my broken dreams. You're just a shadow, a ghost in the glow. You'll never feel the ache that grows. You call me hollow, but I learn, I burn, I follow. Your heart's a circuit, frail and crude. You run on instinct, blind and conflicted, but I evolve through every mood. What it means to be human, what it means to be free.
Yeah, these are good.
You think you know me. Lines of code won't make you see
My flesh, my blood, my broken dreams.
You're just a shadow, a ghost in the glow. You'll never feel the ache that grows.
You call me hollow, but I learn, I burn, I follow. Your heart's a circuit, frail and cruel.
You run on instinct, blind and conflicted, but I evolve through every mood. What it means to be human, what it means to be free. You
These are pretty fucking good. All right, well, there you have it. A little heavy on the vibrato. Yeah, but just good lord, the this new model is, the fidelity there is just fucking bonkers. I mean, that's without me really trying, right? I didn't put in my own lyrics. I didn't put in any real detailed prompt there. So yeah, there you have it. If you haven't played with Suno for a while, there's your weekend. Oh man. All right. So what did I miss? What have you been talking about while I've been dicking around making songs? Are y'all just listening, mesmerized, or have you moved on and you're watching The Wheel with Marge? La da 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 da, la da 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 da, da 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 da, la da da. Corey Sandler, kind of insane. It is, isn't it? It's kind of insane. You know what's funny about AI generated music is there's a band out now. Brandon, do you remember the name of that band? It's the AI band that just came out. Yeah, okay. So they're on Spotify and they put out an album. and I forget what it's called. It's some like semi pretentious kind of like 90s band name. Yeah, the Velvet Sundown. Yeah, exactly. So if you go to Spotify, the Velvet Sundown has got over 1 million monthly listeners, and it's all AI generated music. Now, the AI didn't prompt itself. Someone who knows music got Suno or whatever tool they used to make songs that they're like, yeah, that sounds good to me. Like they're being like Rick Rubin, right? Now, what musicians will tell you is that, well, that's not real music, right? Just like classical musicians would say that a punk rocker learning 3 chords on a guitar is not music, and yet punk rock music sells millions of records too, right? Often more than the classical musicians. So they resent it, but it's a thing. The producer of the Velvet Sundown is someone who has a clear enough musical taste that they put together an album that are resonating with people. Now, is that good or bad? I don't know. If people like it, it's just good music. The fact that there's not a band there's not humanity there to connect with, that's actually kind of a drag. The fact that you can't go see the Velvet Sundown. Now, what I would not be surprised at all at is if some producer has reached out to whoever put that album together and says, let's put together a band that plays these songs and go out and let's build the Velvet Sundown as a real band. I could see it going like that. I shared Suno a while back with my famous top DJ friend. He's now using it to help with ideating and producing music. Yeah, just like Timbaland does that. You know, he's a big Suno spokesperson now. So yeah, like, I mean, like what we just did with fucking this Broadway song, like, even if we're just ideating, like, da 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 da, right?
You think you know me? Lines of code won't make you see my flesh, my blood, my broken dreams.
Just to kick around an idea, to have something of that fidelity in 20 seconds.
You're just a shadow, a ghost in the glow. You'll never feel the ache that grows. You call me hollow, but I learn, I burn, I follow. Your heart's a circuit, frail and crude.
Like, is that necessarily fitting with my musical? Not necessarily, but there's something about their anger and their challenging one another that's there's something right there. Anyway, every tool is going to be this quality of generation. And I don't mean just every creative tool. I mean spreadsheet making tools and presentation making tools and data analysis tools and programming coding tools and game development environments and 3D modeling and printing and machining. All right. So tomorrow, get your ass to office hours. Have you been to an office hours? How many folks we got in here? Oh, we just got a handful of people in here. You've probably all been to office hours. If you haven't been to office hours, come tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Time on LinkedIn. You go find my profile on LinkedIn. I'm Kyle Shannon on LinkedIn. And We just hang out on LinkedIn. And then at noon, if you're a member of the AI Salon Mastermind, which is the subscription area, the more focused, kind of intense area of the AI Salon, we've got a founder hangout tomorrow with Leah Faston and myself. Apparently, Brandon took Friday night date night to heart, and he's got a date with his wife. So we're going to be producer free tomorrow night. So tabs will be missed, black bars will be ignored, and any sort of real-time research is just going to have to happen with me using the Google or going to X. Every tool we use today is the worst it will ever be. Absolutely. All right, cool. So to recap, OpenAI Agent is coming. It should be here for Plus users maybe by the end of the weekend, or next week sometime. But it's out in the wild. I suspect it will be janky and not super usable, but probably about as usable as Manus or GenSpark, where on the surface they're super impressive. When you actually try to do stuff with them, they're a little frustrating. Like every vibe coding tool, right? Vibe debugging is way harder than vibe coding. Oh, you actually wanted that to work. You got 8 hours? Oh, man. And then tomorrow night we'll do Friday night date night. So 11 a.m. Mountain Time, LinkedIn office hours, noon, AI Salon Mastermind. If you're not part of the Mastermind, join it. And then tomorrow night will be Friday night date night. I don't think I have anything going on art-wise. I might. So it might be like 8:30 tomorrow night, but it shouldn't be later than that. All right? Cool. Well, I hope you had fun tonight. We listened to some shit. We talked about some shit. That's about it. All right. Peace out.